keep it kind of close. I understand the judge is gonna have an extra prize to give away. So you need to do the very best you can. Your mama has raised some smart children, so let's prove it. Young people, I wish they had had a kindergarten when I was a little girl like this, so I could have gone. So you all have something that we never had. So enjoy, be nice to your teacher, and move on. One of these days you go home to kindergarten and you can have some children in. Every bit of money counts. Your mind is something that has to keep moving. Mind, body, and soul God has given us, and we must keep it moving. On behalf of all of you, I'd like to welcome the judges and thank them for giving up their time to participate. I'd like to thank Ms. Furr's office for sending a representative, and she's gonna take some pictures, by the way. So at this time, I'd like to ask you, if you come in and you do not have an excuse to get back to school, go back to the back table before you leave and get one. So that when your child goes back to school, you will have an automatic excuse. And by the way, you need to go back to school. So at this time, we just like to have a prayer, and will you just join me as we go to God. Our Father who art in heaven, we thank you for these beautiful children, for these responsible, loving parents. We thank you for the library system. We thank you for the judges. God, we thank you for Councilman Stokes always thinking about the community, always trying to do something for the community. We thank you for last night. We thank you for the last 2 weeks. We have had something every day or every night. Thank you, Lord. We ask that may this judging and competition go well. May we accept the fact that what first come, first served, the best will win. But God, we thank you for making all of us winners by waking us up this morning. Amen. Amen. Again, I'd like to welcome all of you and visitors. We may have some more coming, but I'd just like to thank you all and welcome you to just being here. Parents, you are the most blessed people in the world, because you either had to take off your job, you had to give up breakfast, you had to come out in this. I could only see one car in front of me as I came over here. So God has blessed you. So take advantage of it. Kids, while you're here, every one of y'all, give your moms a hand. Woo! Your mama is a wonderful person. Dad had to go to work. So mama is a wonderful person. Always remember that. Always remember that you could have been at Jackson Memorial Funeral Home this morning if God had not woke you up. So we thank you for coming and we welcome you. And get through putting young people in place, we're going to have her to come and do the occasion.
Good morning. Well, you all know this is a very special day. You all know what it is, right? It's a Dr. King essay contest. And as Ms. Mangum said, just do your best. And as she said, you are all winners. And everybody hopefully will go home with something. So we want to thank you guys so much for coming out. And we appreciate you so much for always being a part here with us at Medgar Evers. Okay, now we're going to acknowledge our judges. First on our list, we all know Mr. Mark Leffler. Now, when you all get older, we have a robotics team, a STEM, it's math, it's a STEM project, so we want you all to be a part of it, okay? This is Mr. Mark Leffler. Let's give him a round of applause. And this is his lovely wife, Miss Cookie Leffler. We have the Mississippi Link newspaper editor and boss, Miss Jackie Hampton. And we have Mr. Kevin Edmondson. He followed us all the way. Most of the people here know Kevin because he was with me from our teen center when we had it at the Tearsdale on Northside Drive. And now he's helping us out here. He's always available. So we want to thank Mr. Kevin Edmondson. And we have Mr. Keith McMillan. They have a brand new charter school that's opening up here in Jackson. So if anybody's interested, he's the Dean of Operations. And so thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you so much. All right, guys, let's give all of our judges a round of applause. Thank you so much.
From the library, Ms. Kim, would you like to have a few words to say as assistant to Ms. Bird?
Sure.
Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody for being here and helping honor Dr. King on such a momentous day. And congratulations to all of you students that are here and worked so hard.
Woo!
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we are going to get started. We're going to have a presentation of the contestants. Our judges, are you all ready for them?
Yes.
All right. Contestant number 1, it's gonna be these cuties on the front row. Come on, guys. Come on, love you, do your thing. Come on.
Come on, kids, to the first. Come on, everybody.
Everybody. Everybody.
Ladies first. How many times we get to?
Come on. We gonna get these done.
Wait a minute. Tuesday. No, Jackson. Yes. Where are you? Layla, where are you? Here, Layla. Logan. Beckham. Yes, Jackson. Walk out there, Jackson. Hey, here. Open up. There. Okay.
Don't open your mouth, hold your toes.
Right. Step there.
You'll be, come on.
And right there. Okay, are we ready, boys and girls?
Yes.
All you coaches up. Good morning. We're from Kids University. This is 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. We would like to wish Martin Luther King what, boys and girls? A happy.
Birthday.
And to remind each of you to keep this dream alive and to
Stay strong. Where's your trust? Mine. My jacket. My jacket. That's mine. Why do you think I have?
Okay, we're gonna be real quiet so the judges can hear. The judges have to hear you, so be real quiet, okay? Thank you. And now, contestant number 2.
Good morning. My name is Caitlin. Living Dr. King's dream, stay strong. During the 1960s was the Civil Rights Movement. The Civil Rights Movement was a struggle to get social justice that was happening around this time period. Blacks were not granted the same equality as whites. This was for blacks to gain equal and fair rights. Martin Luther King Jr. was a major part in this Civil Rights Movement. He set up meetings and other events to help boost the movement up. For his contribution, we now have the fair treatment we all desired. On July 31st, 1964, Ollie's Barbecue had filed a lawsuit related to the Civil Rights Act. This was signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson on July 2nd, 1964. Restaurants in Birmingham rallied behind Ollie's, hoping to protect their Jim Crow practice of refusing service to black customers. Ollie's had also had closed its Southside location in 1998. Just for their actions, this restaurant became a legendary restaurant historically, but mainly for its role in challenging the Civil Rights Act of 1964. They were against the harsh treatment and wanted a change. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s strong belief in nonviolent protests helped set the tone of the movement. He also led lunch sit-ins where both races will sit down and demand equal treatment. Because of Martin Luther King, it is not illegal to segregate or discriminate based on a person's skin color. This was because of Martin Luther King's hard and persistent work. If it wasn't for Martin Luther King, we would probably still be in segregation today. Martin Luther King's work has contributed to our nation in so many ways. For example, we sit where we want in public places. We go to schools with diversity. We can have friends the opposite of our skin colors, and teachers don't discriminate on our skin color. He has used great perseverance and grit to get these things for us. In conclusion, his many dedications have done a lot for us. We can now be free. People should appreciate his work. They shouldn't take it for granted. You should cherish every moment because it can be taken away. So parents, teachers, stakeholders, scholars, and community leaders, stay strong.
What's your name?
Cake and Parafor.
Very
Excellent,
wonderful.
excellent.
Right now.
Contestant number 3.
Wait one second, we just want to clarify one thing.
Okay.
Miss Ann, so we don't have the contestants matched up with their names? We don't. She should say her name, but we don't know the order for. Right, it is on there, but we just need to make sure that we know. Exactly. So, okay. That's all right, that's right. Oh, okay, that's right. We're Caitlin, okay.
Caitlin Parafor.
Well, so maybe if we just write their names, and then we can go back and match them with the essay. Okay, we're ready. I think, are we ready? Not yet. One more.
One more thing, just stand there, baby. Look. Stand there and look.
Go ahead and tell us her name. What is she?
Give me your full name. Say it loud. Come here. mic and talk right into the mic, so all of us can know your name. Turn around. Okay, go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Kids down. On August 28, 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a speech to a large group of people. He said to them, I have a dream my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Today, I have a dream that people will love each other, be kind to each other, share with each other, and be thankful for each other, no matter what their skin is. I know we can do all of these things to make my dream come true, but first we have to stay strong for each other.
Thank you. Excellent.
We are moving on. Congratulations, young lady. You did good.
Okay.
Contestant number 4.
And could we add one thing?
Thanks.
That when they give us their name, that they could give us their grade that they're in as well, and that way that'll help us to quickly locate their essay.
Okay.
All right, and speak loud for us. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sydney Thompson, and I am in the 8th grade, and the title of my essay is Innocent by Chance, Guilty by Choice. Now, before I start this essay, I would like to present you all with a story. It is nighttime, and you just come home from a long, tiresome day at work. Life is good, great job, no run-ins with the law, you have a nice family, and everything is perfect. Suddenly, you get a knock at the door. Not thinking nothing of it, you answer it, and you come face to face with the police. Now you're a little worried. My husband has returned home from work, where is he? My wife has returned home from the mall, where is she? You start asking questions. But without hesitation, you are pinned down and placed into handcuffs. Your children hear the loud thud of your body hitting the ground. When they rush downstairs, the first sight they see is their parent being dragged into a police car unwillingly. Once you get to the police station, like a pet, you are placed into a cell. The only things accompanying you are your mere thoughts and neighboring inmates. Did you feel it? I hope you did, because how you are feeling right now is how thousands of us are feeling as we are locked up in prison for no reason. It is almost too easy to convict an innocent person. Once you are convicted, it is nearly impossible to get out. And all it takes is one false confession. Me, Nikki Albino. She accused 2 football players of raping her. Despite their proclaimed innocence, they were sentenced. Now they lost their chance of education, football scholarships, and any other goals they were trying to pursue. Now, months later, she came forward and said that it was consensual, that she lied about it. But all of their goals are dead. All of their dreams are dead. Now they can't go to the NFL. Now they can't make money for their families. All because of one lie. Also, the people that we are currently seeing in the prisons can get us in trouble. And these are neighboring inmates. And these are not people that want to see you do good or want to see you turn your life around. These are people that have been in jail much longer than you have, and they will do and say whatever it takes to get out, and they will lie about it. Jailhouse snitches were used in 23% of death penalty cases, which were later exonerated. But when you're exonerated, this is after the defendant is already guilty. They are already dead, so what good did it do? You can't bring somebody back to life. 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, I'm talking about law officials. They have been known to cause damage too, so never underestimate them. They are one of the only ones that can sit down and have a conversation with the convicts, interrogate them and ask questions. You would be surprised by what a lengthy interrogation would do to a person, what bad treatment would do to a person. And you know, they say you are innocent until proven guilty, but in their eyes, you are already guilty. You are a monster, and they want you to know that. All it takes is one slip up, one false misunderstanding, one wrong set of words, and they use that against you. Now, if we're looking around this room, obviously we are all in minorities, and there are people that want to keep it that way. Yes, we've come up from slavery, we've come up from segregation, but we are still mentally encaged, and they want us caged. Now, George Finney Jr. can be a testament to that. But he can't come up and say that because at the age of 14, he was executed for a crime that he did not commit. When they interrogated him, the police told him, if you say you committed this crime, you will be set free. Now, George Tenney Jr. is tired. George Tenney Jr. is worn out. He wants to go home. So like any other 14-year-old boy, he said he committed the crime. And what did the police do for him? The police drew back on his word. And he was faced against an all-white jury in the 1930s of the murder of an 8-year-old girl. And after minutes of deliberation, he was sentenced to death by an electric chair. Now, George Tenney Jr. knows he's about to die. He doesn't know why or what they have against him, an innocent 14-year-old boy, but he knows that he is about to die. So, as they chain his body up to the chair, his feet are too small to reach the shackles. So they place books underneath his body. And there are people in the crowd watching. But these are not people of the victims' families. These are not people who feel bad for him. These are people who want to see an innocent life get taken away. These are people who see the joy in somebody not having a son anymore, not having a brother anymore. They love this. This is what they live for. So when they send 1,300 electric volts through his body, he reaches out to the crowd, hoping and praying that somebody helps him. But they do nothing but watch him. And the saddest part is that it took 70 years to have him exonerated. 70 years to say that he was finally innocent. Now, Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So, what if that was your sister? What if that was your mother? What if that was your brother? You wouldn't like it, would you? How can we say that we are taking a stand when we are still sitting down? How can we say that we are raising our voices when we are not being heard? What will it take? Does it take an electric chair? Does it take a death penalty? Does it take innocent lives being put in prison right now because of the color of their skin? What does it take? Once you find out what it takes, do something about it.
Thank you for that presentation. Our next contestant number 5.
Good morning. My name is Dakari Pickens and I'm in 3rd grade. I'm living strong in Dr. Martin Luther King's dream by enjoying the skin I am in and the life I have. Dr. King has always wanted us to be treated fair no matter what we look on the outside, and the only way to do that was to accept each other as we are not judged, because the only pulls that us apart from having a world to live in. As I know, being strong is not always easy, but it is worth not giving up and letting the hard work of every civil rights leader go without being noticed or live through its main purpose. This is why I will stay strong as I grow older, because it is just as Dr. King's dream came true, so will mine. I am Dr. King strong because of slavery, sit-ins, bombing, and protesting. I can be equally educated, shop equally, and eat equally, and be free.
Wait. Hold it there.
Move your paper behind your post on seat.
Good morning. My name is Fatima Wansley. I am an 8th grade student and I attend Northwest Jackson International Baccalaureate Middle School. Title of my essay is Living Dr. Martin Luther King's Dream, Staying Strong. Everyone knows of MLK and his work to help others. However, not many actually carry on that service that he's done. The effect of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s work to bring entire ethnic groups together and help aid the civil rights movement should never be forgotten. His sacrifice should forever be etched into the minds of people across the world. His dedication and relentlessness must inspire us. It must inspire us to keep his work alive. It is crucial to keep Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream alive in order to serve mankind, work for justice for all, and to allow his legacy to inspire generations to come. Over the years of celebrations, MLK has unfortunately become a holiday to stay at home and rest. This is disrespectful to his persistent work for justice and how we should preserve his legacy. In the spirit of MLK, we should be serving others just as he did. We must stay strong and stand up for equality and justice for all races, religions, and backgrounds. When we are inspired by leaders such as MLK, we are actually able to change our society and see a decline in prejudiced views and the countless deaths and injuries of minorities that occur because of it. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." The world does not come anywhere close to being described as perfect. We live in a society that shoots first and asks questions never. However, had influencers such as Martin Luther King Jr. only looked at the negative aspects of the world, we would have never overcome as much strife and injustice that we did. We do not live in a perfect world, and we probably never will. However, it is not our job to make the world perfect, but to survive and persevere through the difficult encounters that we face. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and consensuous stupidity. Martin Luther King Jr. Too often are African Americans subjected to injustice, racism, and a multitude of other inequitable acts. To say we are resilient is an understatement. We were given this life because we are strong enough to take whatever is thrown at us. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has inspired generations upon generations to stand up and to stay strong and to make the most of the cards that we are dealt. Strength is defined as the capacity for exertion or endurance. You will never know what strength is until you have faced struggles. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream about a world with equality, but it goes without saying that equality wouldn't come easy. Staying strong is essential to the survival of African Americans as a race and essential to the hope that one day we can all walk amongst each other truly equal. No matter how hard life gets, no matter how much hardship we face, there is nothing we cannot overcome. And thanks to the wisdom of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we may get the opportunity to live in a world comprised of equality. Thank you.
We'd like to thank this young lady who is also. Contestant number 7.
My name is Ali. I am 9 years old and in 4th grade. My title is Living Dr. King's Dream, Stay Strong. I can stay strong by not letting anyone hurt me with their words or actions. It is very important that I know who I am and what I can become, but I must keep my eyes on my goals. In order to achieve my goals, I must work really hard, like an ant getting food for winter. I must work hard and prepare myself for my bright future. Finally, and I believe in myself, all things are possible. This is how I always stay strong, the Martin Luther King's way.
Contestant number 8.
Good
morning, everyone. My name is Jada Kelly. I attend Jim Hill High School where I'm in the 11th grade, and I also am in the International Baccalaureate program here. Living Dr. King's dreams, stay strong. Dr. Martin Luther King was a man of wisdom, faith, inspiration, and integrity. His overall character as a social activist has impacted everyone from 1954 until the present day. Dating back to the 1900s, Martin Luther King lived in a time where racial and prejudice tensions were at their highest peaks. He grew up in a time where life was hard for African Americans since the southern United States operated by Jim Crow laws during the 19th century. By having a dream, Dr. Martin Luther King fought for equality and human rights for African Americans by peacefully protesting for what he believed was morally right. His courageous act has inspired hundreds and thousands of individuals in the 21st century by inspiring us to stand for what we believe in and what we believe is right, and also for what we believe is wrong. We live in such a dysfunctional world that lacks love and contains those who look through a different lens. But if we were to come together as one body, we could all make a difference historically, educationally, and progressively. Martin Luther King's famous I Have a Dream speech was posed as an inspiration to millions of the African American people. His call for equality and peace through the Selma March was rhetoric used by Dr. King to spread light over darkness. His constant dedication and persistence pushed himself and hundreds of African Americans to march in an unaggressive manner from Selma, Alabama to Montgomery, Alabama to have equal voting rights. During their 54-mile route, protesters were confronted with daily violence that didn't hinder them from continuing the march. After 3 days, they finally achieved their goal while being accompanied by the National Guard troops who were used for protection. The Selma March shined a light on the African American community in a way that raised awareness on the difficulties that African American voters face and brought about a necessity for a National Voting Rights Act used to protect African American voters from their previous treatment. Although Martin Luther King lived a short life, he made sure that he fought for every individual's rights and freedom. No matter if you were black, white, red, or blue, he made sure that he fought for equality and justice. His legacy is a constant reminder as to what we should stand for as a community and as a society. Being that our ancestors have come a long way in life, we should count every opportunity as a blessing, since we have an advantage and should continue to add to the legacy. Our life should be governed by a quote that Martin Luther King once stated in his I Have a Dream speech. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that.
All right, you contestant number 8. Now we take number 9.
My name is Kintax Wood. I'm 11 years old. I'm in 5th grade. I go to Joseph Elementary School. Things. Living Dr. Martin Luther King. I believe Martin Luther King Jr. dream of reality equality is possible, but tend to equal many fat intense income and print.
Take your time.
Including economic pressure. I also believe that Dr. King's dream will become a reality when race wasn't the end of people at different. His dream wasn't happen. Everyone would be equal, but that
wasn't having it into a race. Was it big? Is it big? Is it a big issue? King dream will not be a reality until everyone is considered equal to one another. If we apply for a job, it is asked for racial background. Why should it matter at all? I think that progress has been happening very slowly. Dr. King, on today I say is you did more than try. We thank you for that.
Stay strong. Contestant number, what number was yours? You number 9? I just want to make sure we remember. Number 9, now I'll take number 10.
Good morning, my name is Saeja Wood. I am 10 years old. I'm in the 5th grade and I go to Johnson Elementary. Living Dr. King's dreams, stay strong. Dr. King dreamed of a peaceful world where all people are loved and accepted. It's easy to see we aren't there yet. Some might argue that the civil rights movement ended in the 1980s, but they're wrong. It's happening now. That dream forever ingrained in every American's mind already has become a reality, and it's only becoming more real as time goes on. However, individuals have the freedom to get to where they want to be based on their merit, as made especially visible in the workplace and the classroom. But we cannot be racially equal in socket if there is still an educational and economic disparity between races, most of all by spreading King's message of peace, love, and acceptance. We can make a difference, and we are living King's dream, and we will continue to do so. We are free at last.
Okay. All right, after that, who's nominee 11? Come on, sweetie.
My name is Casey Williams, and I am a 3rd grade student at G.N. Smith Elementary School. Living Dr. King's dream, stay strong. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on Tuesday, January 15, 1929. His given name at birth was Michael King Jr. His father changed both their names in honor of a great Protestant reformer. When he grew up, he went to Booker T. Washington High School. He was a very smart young man, but he always wondered why people did not treat each other equal. Dr. King attended Morehouse College at the age of 15, and we should be intelligent enough to do that too. In 1961, he went to the Southern Seminary to be a minister like his dad. In 1963, Dr. King gave his famous speech, I Have a Dream. But unfortunately, Dr. King was assassinated in 1968. That still should not mean that we should stop living the I Have a Dream. And if you are not living it, then today is the day to start.
Number 12.
My name is Lillian Johnson, and I'm 8, and I am in the 3rd grade at Casey Elementary. I will be reading Living Dr. King's Dream. Stay strong. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was an African American peace activist. He taught and practiced ways to unite the nation. Dr. King gave many speeches on how to live in a world where every race could live in unity if we choose to do so. His dream let us know that there was going to be painful moments in our lives that would change our entire world in a matter of minutes. His thoughts gave hope to the people, and his vision was of great stature. One important thing he wanted us to know is that we must stay strong. Dr. King demonstrated that being strong, smart, and kind will help the nation to advance in much change. As we live his dream today, I know that if we give a contagious smile, don't give up, and know that kindness is free, we will continue to live his dream.
Number 13.
Hello, my name is Lucita Jenkins, and I attend Callaway High School, and I'm a senior. Living Dr. King's dream, stay strong. On January 15, 1929, Martin Luther King Sr. and Alberta Williams King welcomed Michael King Jr. into the world. They had no idea their baby boy would become such an amazing and well-known public figure. Michael King Jr., better known as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., became a leader in the civil rights movement, as well as a peace activist. He was a beacon of hope and had dreams for many African Americans to become equal to all and have freedom. Dr. King's dream was realized by millions and has prevailed over the years. By continuing to believe in change, providing nonviolent ways to accomplish change, and staying strong, Dr. King's dream will be forever honored. When Dr. Martin Luther King began to teach not only African Americans, but every race about freedom and equality, he never knew his dreams would become a reality. He merely believed in his thoughts. He did not take threats and beatings just for an entertainment show. Dr. King had faith in God and himself, believing that life could and would change. He knew that if we would unite, that a major change was in the making. He believed. Today, we are living some of his dreams, but much change is still needed. We must not lose faith and always believe that the world can continue to change as he wants. The beauty of our faith is our greatest legacy. Martin Luther King Jr. always taught nonviolent ways for change to be prominent throughout the world. He wanted every race to understand that violence was not a way of love and peace. He led protests that was meant only to give knowledge about the treatment of African Americans. Dr. King and his demonstrators were willing to lay down and remain silent while being abused in order to make visible that violence wasn't necessary. He went through so much at the hands of others, and yet he still portrayed nonviolence. Although Dr. King's dream is being fulfilled today, it's not at the full potential. As a nation, we need to continue to demonstrate nonviolent ways to maintain peace among everyone. We need a presence of more kind souls in a world that isn't so kind in order to continue to honor such an amazing man. Dr. King had great strength. He deeply loved. That's where his strength came from. If we unite in peace, love, and equality, we can be just as strong as he was. Staying strong in our minds will hold us to living the Dr. King's dream. As a senior in high school, I am living out a major portion of his dream because I am able to attend any school of my choice. I am going to continue to build on his dream daily as I keep believing and striving. Let's all make the choice to press towards the mark that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. intended for us. Stay strong.
Number 14.
Good morning. My name is Kelvin and I am a senior. Living Dr. King's dream, stay strong. Born January 15, 1929, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came into this world not knowing how much of an impact his life would have on the lives of others. Even in the days of his youth, he had always been an inspirational individual. He was an intelligent young man. He was smart enough to skip 2 grades of his high school year, and he started attending college at the age of just 15 years old. The college he attended was Morehouse College, and he earned his doctorate in 1955 from Boston University. Later on in life, Dr. King would go on to accomplish many other great achievements that came at a lot of costs. Dr. King had plenty of experience when it came to being an effective leader. During the Montgomery bus boycott, which he led, his life had been threatened over the phone many of times, and his house was bombed. But even still, when the protests came to an end, segregation on buses was deemed unconstitutional. The reason Dr. King succeeded was because he never gave up. He had to go through so many trials and tribulations. He faced racial prejudice, threats, and he had been arrested more times than I can count on my fingers. It's because of these struggles that he is still celebrated in this day and age. We are now in a new year, 2019, and with a new year comes new problems. Let's be honest, with a show of hands, who has not gone through some kind of trouble or obstacles? We all have our own personal issues that keeps us from accomplishing our goals. Each and every one of us sitting here today have gone through some kind of struggle, whether it's being a single parent or guardian, providing for your children, scraping up enough money to pay the bills, and or even trying to keep yourself in good health. No matter what it is that has stopped you in your tracks, the worst thing you can do is give up. We grow the most when confronted by adversity, which Dr. King has quoted perfectly. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Thank you all for listening.
I'd like to thank you for letting me take a television commercial break. We'd like to thank these wonderful contestants. I told you I don't care who it is, nobody could have done it any better. So thank you all. I'd like to thank the judges for what they have done. They're going to deliberate. Don't throw no paper at me, because the judge's decision is final.
Kaden Hubbard. Kaden Hubbard.
Is there one more?
Kaden Hubbard.
Ms. Hubbard?
He couldn't make it because
He
he had his
couldn't?
spelling bee today.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope he wins the spelling bee for that. Well, thank you so much for even trying to get him here. But sometimes we can't do 2 things at one time. So he chose, he had studied for it, and I don't blame him. Next year, we'll see him next year.
All right.
And the judge is gonna deliberate now. I'd like to thank my neighbor. I see my neighbor here, Ms. Buller, and I'd like to thank all of you for coming. This is a blessing. This is the beginning for these children. Nothing is gonna be perfect. Nobody's gonna win every time, but to enter, to me, is a winner. Be strong.
Yes. Amazing work today.
Be strong, stay with your parents, don't get kidnapped, don't listen to nobody, you know, all this sweet talking that they do, don't get in nobody's car. If somebody's walking beside you, stop and go to somebody's house. Be good, be a good student, stay in school. I know sometimes you make mistakes, you do stupid stuff, but you always bounce back. So I'm asking you to continue to bounce back and be strong.